Hey, it's Monday the 15th, and that marks 3 weeks that I've been out here, so making good progress. Doesn't in some ways, it doesn't seem like it's been 3 weeks, but at the same time, it seems like it's been a lot longer since I just had a cooler in the woods compared to the kitchen setup that we have now. That's one of the things we worked on quite a bit this weekend. Well, it was fairly easy on the weekend. All we did was throw on the roof, but on this half, we have the metal roofing on and all the frame complete and everything else. And I've cut all the logs for the second half over here. So I'll be notching those timbers and lashing that all up and putting the roof on probably next weekend. That'll be a good project to do when it's too hot out in the field. It's been really sunny. It gets quite hot. We were all feeling pretty drained yesterday while we were working. So it's always nice to come back into the shade and have some relief. But while Blake and Blaze were both here over the weekend, and my friend Eric was here briefly, we got quite a bit of work done. So we did the kitchen, we set up our composting toilet, which I'll have to walk up the hill and give some footage of later, and we have all 8 columns installed. So I'm gonna turn you around. You can start to see the columns coming into view there. Some of them just have a little bit of gravel fill around the base. Some are filled all the way up to ground level. So I'll have quite a bit of backfilling and digging and things to do, leveling out the site. So that's something I could do all week. I'll also be assembling the tops of the columns. These are currently about 6 feet above grade, so I have another 6-foot section that splices onto that. That will bring you up to the loft level. So I'll be assembling those column splices and also maybe starting on the main beams that then cross. Those are the last pieces that actually need to be laminated together with glue. So far I've purchased 7 gallons of wood glue. I always get some strange looks at the hardware store. Last time we bought 4 gallons of wood glue. We told them we have a big macaroni art project that we're working on. It just buy out all the wood glue over there. Hopefully 7 will be enough. I might need a gallon or 2 more after that, depending on some of the joints. But in any case, yeah, progress is going pretty well, and I guess I'll go back to work today. I'm gonna go glue up one of the tops of the columns and then head in and get some breakfast. Haven't gotten any breakfast yet. Looks like another nice clear day out here though, so I'll have to set out the solar panel. Been really getting charged up on my solar energy the last couple of days. It's been very sunny, and today I heard the first cicada of the season. We were just talking about it the other day that I haven't heard any yet, and I think this is supposed to be a big year. For those who don't know, cicadas are it's a little insect. They kind of live underground for, I think it's 7 years at a time, and then they come out and they'll land on a tree. They make this long kind of screeching. It's an unmistakable noise. Nothing else sounds quite like it. And then they leave a little husk of themselves on the tree as they, go on to the next state of their metamorphosis. So you find all these little alien kind of gossamer husks sitting on trees. I'll probably find some at some point. But I heard the first one this morning, and I've also probably heard the 100th one. They've been going all morning. So I don't know if this is supposed to be a big year because they're every 7 years. They kind of tend to go in cycles. And some years there's many more than others. But in any case, it seems like it's starting. So I'm going to go glue up that column and get started with the day. Progress continues on site. Basically, I've been gluing up the column tops. I might try installing one of those today. And I finished those actually. So I just started on the first half of one beam. That's what's being glued up over there. And I've done quite a bit of backfilling on the site, filling in those holes. But while looking for lumber to assemble one of these beams, I discovered I have some ants, at least in one of the piles of lumber, which I'm not very happy about. So they've been eating away. There's only 2 boards that are really bad, and even those aren't terrible. So I'm gonna walk down to the pile. It was these 2x12s here, which I didn't really have that well stacked, and it was two of the ones that are kind of vertical, leaning up against each other. So I think it's these two here. Let me flip this open. Yeah, so there's a lot of ants. You can see they've made these burrows here. It's actually kind of beautiful, other than the fact that it's ruining this wood. So I'm going to leave these two. I'm trying to sort out all the rest of the lumber, make sure there's no more ants in it, and I'm gonna leave those two to basically catch the majority. There's a couple striations in this piece as well. So I'm gonna try to sort out which ones have been affected and which ones haven't. Here's all the pile of sawdust that they made. So it's pretty impressive. I guess this is also filled with all of their larvae and things now. So I'm gonna move all these boards, and it's made me a bit paranoid about the rest of the lumber on the site. I've checked a couple of pieces, I haven't really found anything. But I'm going to be moving these today, try to make sure there's nothing else going on, and start moving this all up. I mean, it's pretty far below the site, because when I laid this lumber out, I didn't know where we were going to be building. So I've been meaning to move it all anyway, especially the stuff just over there that's not very well stacked. And, well, I guess we'll have to get down to building so that the lumber's not all just sitting out here. Well, I just jumped in the stream for a little bit to and relax. I was definitely getting a little bit, I don't know, worked up, I guess, when I was finding all those boards with ants on them. It was really only the ones that I showed, the first two especially, that had any damage on them. And but every time I uncovered a new layer, the ants just kept retreating. So I hadn't really done any eating on the next layers of boards, but I kept seeing more and more ants and more eggs. So I think it's the same ones just going down and down. But I've cleared off all those piles. I just laid each of the boards out that was in the area. I just laid them individually, kind of all along the road area. And then now I'm gonna take my time and begin restacking the lumber, the rest of the lumber, closer up to the barn. It annoys me. That's been something that I wanted to do for 2 weeks now, I guess, since we really finalized the location a little over 2 weeks. Kept meaning to restack the lumber, especially the stuff that's just been lying around. But now that we're going to be using those boards and everything else, it makes sense to start getting it closer. So I kind of kicked myself for not doing it sooner. It's not really that much damage, and it's definitely not something worth getting worked up about. I mean, I was thinking about it while I was down in the stream. Kind of the whole reason to be up here, the reason to be doing this, is to be able to relax, enjoy myself, and it's been great so far. It's been absolutely great. So, you know, I mean, 2 boards is nothing. It's just like $25, a little bit more, I guess, because those are 2x12s. But even if it had been that whole stack of lumber, I mean, that would be a couple $100, which would be a big shame. But you know, you learn with everything. I hate to see, maybe I should have recognized those ants or something. You know, I will from now on. So I hate to see my inexperience, first of all, if it ever threatens my health or safety. I mean, that's the biggest thing. We haven't really had any near misses. We've tried to take our time and be really cautious with everything. So, you know, with the excavator on site and heavy machinery, we're really careful about our water and fire and wearing safety goggles and things like that. So I haven't really had too many accidents, to try to keep health and safety as a priority. But then anything that endangers, you know, the status of the project or financial well-being and stuff like that, I really hate to see mistakes that threaten that. So I'm gonna take my time, be relaxed, and start moving some of this lumber up. And I mean, it looks like most of the wood is okay. So at first I was gonna just really wait and not assemble any more beams, but I mean, it looks like it's fine. I'm gonna check it over, make sure there's no ants at all, and then probably glue up the next beam as well. Anyway, back to work. There you have a nice big pile of food scraps. So then on top of that, we'll throw our clean organic fill, just our leaves and dirt on top of that.